foolish. Ian Paisley shoots himself in the leg using royal emblem for party political advertising. DUP MP Ian Paisley has been queried over his use of a royal emblem in party political advertising. The Northampton MP had several advertisements placed in local newspapers this week which included the House of Commons badge, the crowned portcullis. Parliamentary rules tightly restrict how MPs can use the badge, and any issues can be investigated by the Standards Commissioner. The emblem is authorised to the House of Commons by licence granted by the Queen. The UK Parliament website says the crowned portcullis should not be used for purposes to which such authentication is inappropriate. Such emblems should also not be used where there is a risk that their use might wrongly be regarded, or represented, as having the authority of the House. An MP committee report in 2019 said the emblem may be used by members on their stationery provided by the House or used for their parliamentary functions. It added the crowned portcullis must not be used in an inappropriate form. Mr. Paisley's advertisements, which were published in 2 newspapers in his local area, included the DUP logo and an image of the MP. The adverts gave welfare payment figures in a bid to promote how Mr. Paisley's constituency office had assisted members of the public. Mr. Paisley is quoted in one of the ads saying, "I have a reputation for fighting for constituents' needs and getting the job done." A House of Commons spokesman said it was unable to comment on individual instances of the use of the crowned portcullis. He added, "If the crowned portcullis has been misused, it would be a matter for the Commissioner for Standards." The DUP was asked whether Mr. Paisley had sought permission to use the crowned portcullis in these advertisements. The party was also asked whether they regarded the use of the emblem to be within parliamentary rules. The DUP did not respond to requests for a comment. In another news, the DUP's Ian Paisley has accused Brussels of destroying Northern Ireland by insisting on the enforcement of the protocol. The Northampton MP urged the government to invoke Article 16 to put businesses out of the misery. He told MPs in Westminster on Thursday, "We now appear to have this Joan of Arc standoff of the opposition, calling the protocol as if it is something precious when it is destroying businesses. It is costing businesses in Northern Ireland £850 million. That is what is catastrophic, the friction of trade within the United Kingdom." During an urgent question on the Northern Ireland Protocol in Westminster, he insisted Brussels destroyed this part of the United Kingdom by insisting on the enforcement of the protocol in a disgraceful manner. Paisley called on the government to invoke Article 16 and invoke it now, and stop dilly-dallying on this issue. Put business out of the misery in Northern Ireland. Responding to DUP MP Ian Paisley, Michael Ellis said, "He is also right to say on the business front that at least 200 companies in Great Britain are no longer servicing the Northern Ireland market, so the point he makes is perfectly valuable. A significant number of medicines, for example, are also still at risk of discontinuation. I will say this, we saw in one of the national newspapers recently that even the supply of trees for the Queen's forthcoming Platinum Jubilee cannot apparently be supplied in Northern Ireland from Great Britain. There are problems that have frankly been shredded by the way this protocol is working. Article 16 is a legitimate part of the Northern Ireland Protocol's provisions," a minister has said, after a Liberal Democrat MP called for it to be ruled out before Christmas. Liberal Democrat MP Alistair Carmichael claimed an update should already have been given to the House, insisting that triggering Article 16 this side of Christmas would be catastrophic. He lambasted the government, telling MPs that Article 16 is not a get-out-of-jail-free card for the government when they do not like the deal that they have done. To invoke it in the way in which government ministers speak would be seen as an act of bad faith on the part of the UK government, he added. He said pragmatic solutions are needed, not more posturing, adding the problems of which the government now complain are all one of their own making. Shadow Northern Ireland Minister Alex Davis-Jones told the House of Commons that the last thing this country needs is a damaging trade dispute with the EU. She said, "Trust is hard-won and easy to lose. I say to the Minister, in sincere hope he listens, this is not the context in which any responsible government would force another high-stake, divisive standoff. With the cost of living crisis and growing instability, the last thing this country needs is a damaging trade dispute with our nearest trading partners.